One evening, while Mr. Bami was away on business, Ada and Ruth took the opportunity to search Juliet's bedroom. They moved quickly, digging through closets, scanning shelves, until Ruth found something stuffed. Beneath the back of a drawer, a leather-bound diary. Ada opened it cautiously, flipping through brittle pages filled with secrets, and then they found it, a passage that sent shivers down their spines. He never suspected a thing. Poor fool. If only he had listened to the warnings. Ada's breath hitched. Ruth clenched her fist. The missing husband, Juliet, had written about him, and from the chilling tone in the words, he hadn't just disappeared, he had been removed. Determined to force Juliet's hand, Ada and Ruth hatched a new plan. They would watch her closely, look for patterns, and soon, they found something terrifying. Juliet always served Mr. Bami's tea herself. She would brew it in the kitchen, carefully stir in the ingredients, and carry it to his study. No one else ever touched the tea. And every evening, after drinking it, Mr. Bami seemed weaker, more exhausted, more irritable, more under Juliet's spell. Ada and Ruth's suspicion turned to certainty. Juliet wasn't just manipulating Mr. Bami, she was poisoning him, and it had been happening right under their noses. The truth was horrifying, but now, Ada and Ruth had evidence. They couldn't confront her, yet not without proof that would break her completely. So they devised a trap. They would switch the cups. One evening, as Juliet prepared Mr. Bami's tea, Ada subtly swapped it with a harmless duplicate. Juliet didn't notice. She carried the cup to Mr. Bami, smiling sweetly as always, but this time, he drank nothing but harmless tea. And Juliet was the only one drinking from the poison cup. Within minutes, her smile faded, her breathing became labored. And as the dizziness overtook her, Ada and Ruth watched in cold triumph. Juliet had been caught. And now, the true battle would begin. Juliet's downfall had begun. The poison tea, her own signature method, turned against her, had weakened her, but it hadn't destroyed her. She was gasping for air, gripping the edge of the chair as dizziness overtook her senses, but she was still dangerous. Ada and Ruth watched, their expressions unreadable. They had exposed her, but they knew this wasn't over. And then, just as expected, her lips parted, and she played her final card. "My love," she whispered, reaching weakly for him. "They tried to poison me." Ada's pulse spiked. Ruth clenched her jaw. This was her move. Her last desperate attempt to twist the truth. Mr. Bami's gaze snapped to Ada and Ruth, confusion clouding his face. What is she talking about? Juliet was skilled. She knew how to cry without ruining her makeup, how to tremble just enough to seem vulnerable. And now, she was framing them. "They gave me the wrong tea," she sobbed. "They switched it. I only noticed when the dizziness started," Ada shouted, furious. "You poisoned his tea every night, Juliet. We just gave you a taste of your own game." Juliet gasped in mock horror, shaking her head. No, my love, I would never do such a thing." Mr. Bami hesitated. It was the moment Ada and Ruth feared. He was doubting them. They needed to think fast. Before anyone could say another word, the doorbell rang, a sharp, piercing sound that cut through the tension. The household staff had no idea who the guest was, but when the door was opened, a stranger stepped inside, tall, dark suit, eyes like cold steel. David, the investigator.